You have this idea, and right now the idea seems huge, right? It seems like this big idea, and it's very difficult for you to figure out exactly how to make this idea turn into reality. Come close. A little bit more. I want to tell you guys something. It's not the big idea that matters. It's the small concepts that make it happen. The big idea is that I'm flying out to New Orleans, but the small concepts are that I have to travel to the airport, check my baggage, go through security check, board the plane, listen to the safety talk, taxi the runway, and then finally take off. So why is it that you think with your big idea that you can just immediately take off and get to exactly where you want to be? Doesn't work that way. The thing that is impeding you the most is not your lack of a great idea, but simply your understanding of how important all of the small concepts and small pieces are. The reason a lot of times that we get so frustrated is because our big idea is just a rough draft. It lacks refinement and execution. But when we focus on the small concepts, we are able to see the start point, the end point, along with the development. Let me try to make this plain. The big idea is that I'm traveling from point A to point B. The small concepts is everything that has to happen before the plane actually takes flight. I want to give you guys 3 things that you need to do to focus to make sure that your big idea comes to reality. The first one, very simple. Begin at the end. You want to start from where you want to be. Here's what I mean by that. If I'm flying to New Orleans as an example, New Orleans is my end. That is my destination. What is it going to take for me to get there? I need to start back and work my way back from my end point so that way I can focus on all of the small things that it's going to take for me to get to my destination. I want to encourage you to do the same thing when it comes to planning your goal. If your goal is to own your own business or your goal is to lose weight, whatever your goal might be, start with the end, write it down, and then from there, start asking yourself the question, what do I need to achieve A? Now that I've achieved A, what do I need to achieve B? And then C, and then D. Keep working yourself back until you get to a point to where your starting point is so simple that you're able to start right away. Number 2, set the time. Give yourself a set time frame. We've talked about this before. You should have 3 categories of goals. You should have an immediate category, short term, and then long term. Immediate is 30 days or less. Short term is 30 to 60 days. And then long term is anything that is 60 days and above. Set your goals in those orders, in those priorities. That way, you're able to break down the small concepts to again help you achieve the big idea that you're going for. This one is so simple. Check in. Check in. I can't express to you how many times that we will sit around with a big idea. We have this great idea, this thing that we know will change our lives, and we do not check in. We don't show up for ourselves. So the last thing that you want to do after you had a chance to first begin at the end, then you've set the time and given yourself parameters on your goals, you want to check in. Make sure that you show up for you, because there's no one else that's going to do it. There's no one else that's going to show up. There's no one else that's going to bring the fire, the passion, and the intensity that is needed to make your big idea come to life other than you. I want us to all fly together. I want us to all be able to obtain and achieve our big ideas. But I also want to make sure that we focus on those small concepts that it's going to take for our big idea to come to reality. So let's continue to get after it. Let's take the time right now to begin at the end. Let's prioritize our goals and set them in the time frames that they need to be. And then most importantly, let's show up, show out, check in. Let's get after it. Let's go. Let's conquer change. This is Ferocious Friday, baby. Let's go.